Okay, everyone, welcome back to another Tech Tuesday. I'm super excited today because I got to meet a lot of you guys, flesh and blood, not just through Zoom. So that was pretty exciting. Um, yeah, welcome to another night of discussion on how to operate your business to the fullest using or leveraging the power of KvCore, social media, and pretty much any other software out there we'll probably be covering at some point if we haven't already. Um, yeah, so let's go through these slides and I'll be taking you guys through a few topics today. And I have the whole Halloween theme going. So hopefully everyone had a nice Halloween. We probably all worked, but you never know. Uh, I'm your coach, KvCore Kane, and you'll see my contact details going through these slides. So if you ever need to reach out to me, you can always. And this is the 10th Tech Tuesday. Okay. Right here, I've showed this to all you guys who were at the office today. You can actually scan this QR code, and you can also click the link I'm about to post in the chat to sign up and receive email notifications whenever I post YouTube videos, the recap of everything we're doing here. So in case you have to leave early or you just can't make it at all, you always have those at your disposal. So let me go ahead and put that in the chat for those of you guys who might not have received or signed up for that if you're interested. This is the one. And everything I do, all these landing pages, I leverage the power of KvCore to make all this happen. So everything I'm teaching you here and showing you, how I use these, that's literally what I'm showing you how to do so you can make this happen. Thank you, Cecilia. I thought it was pretty fun. So I put some pumpkins and whatnot in the slides. The link is in the chat, and you can obviously, like I said, scan this QR code, or always email me at hello@karamokoking.com and let me know if you have any questions. Doesn't just have to be for this. I can make some time and we can do some one-on-one sometimes. Okay. All right. Just like every meeting, this is just a before we get started thing I do. You can interrupt me at any time. You can raise your hand to ask a question. You can use the chat. I'll check the chat periodically to see if you guys have anything to say or ask. Make sure to participate by providing feedback. I like to be as interactive as possible and encourage you guys to engage. And I do that by having polls on the screen where you guys can vote or tell me your opinion on certain things. And that gives me some insights as far as what you guys want to talk about, where everyone's having difficulties, and I can tailor these meetings even better moving forward, the more participation and engagement there is. And we're all trying to run our businesses to its fullest potential. So this is your space to share everything you want to know so that we can cover those and get questions answered. Okay, these meetings are recorded. I'm sure most of you guys know that by now. If not, they are, and I can send you the recap to these, or you can just go ahead and go straight to the YouTube channel. And if you subscribe to that, you'll be automatically notified whenever I post these. So you have a full library at all times, free of charge, 24/7. You can go back through these trainings. And the beautiful thing is the more questions you guys ask, the more it will help anyone else watching these down the line because they'll have all those interesting questions answered. Okay. So this is just a little before we get started, need to know. So I want to get in the habit of starting these with polls. So today, let's see what I have prepared. All right. Most of you guys should be able to see this poll on the screen. The average American is likely to move how many times in their lifetime? I wonder what you guys think. It's a little real estate related icebreaker today. You guys can't cheat and Google it either. Okay. You genuinely have to guess. Okay. And I really love these polls. Let's see. I'm gonna give it 5 more seconds. All right. Okay. Looks like we got 13 answers. 2 more seconds. Come on, guys. All right. So we're gonna end the poll here. We got 90% of you guys' answer. So most of you guys actually answered 5. Next up was 7. So there's only one person that actually got the answer right. Most Americans move about 12 times in their lifetime, according to an article I saw on the National Association of Realtors, which is a lot. I actually would have thought it was much lower, but that kind of gives you an insight as far as, when you market to people in your sphere of influence, think of that. Most people are likely to move 12 times. If you live to see someone being born and all the way through their lifetime, you have 12 chances to aid in them owning a new home or maybe selling a home, okay, which is a cool little fun fact, okay. And I think I can share the results with you guys here so you can see. Awesome, awesome. Let's close this. So last time, this is what we talked about. I always like to just show you guys what you might have not seen. So if you have any questions going into this Tech Tuesday, we might have already covered that topic. Still, don't be discouraged from asking questions you think we already might have covered. People come in and, at different times, and I want to make sure you guys feel as supported as give. I want to make sure you guys get as much support as possible. So no matter what the question is, feel free to ask. It does not matter. It's an open conversation. The last time we had a lot of great content in regards to building email templates using the advanced editor. We did not get to talk about the open house app. So that's why I have that one in red right now, but we'll be covering that today. Today at the office, and also last time we talked about, very quickly, I just went through that very quickly. Most of you guys took notes, but we did talk about that in depth in last meeting. So if you just now signed up to the email notifications, you can always text or email me and I can send you the link to that. Or if you've already seen the YouTube channel, that's the last video I have on there. So you can go ahead and check that out. There was a lot of great questions. And I feel like the meat and potatoes of KvCore is its smart campaign feature, because that's what's going to allow you to keep in touch with every single person in your database. And at the end of the day, if you're not keeping in touch with people, you're not running your business at all, pretty much, because this is a people business. You want to make sure you follow up. And there's no better program out there, in my opinion, than KvCore out of all the CRMs that already exist. So learning how smart campaigns work is the best thing you can do. And after that, you can then start getting into all the other features that are not so important, but everything as a whole is important. But just, I would recommend, once you import all of your contacts into KvCore, focus your time and energy on smart campaigns. Because while you're learning all the other fancy bells and whistles, you just want to make sure you're getting in touch consistently with all the leads you have in your system. Okay. And if I pause for 5 seconds, I'm probably reading a question or letting someone in the room, okay? All right. And at the end of all these meetings, we'll always have a Q&A outro also, so we can share anything that has to do with the meeting or previous meetings or just anything in general. So this is what you missed last time. Today, we will be talking about, let me put myself right here so you can see the pumpkin. Today, we'll be talking about the Open House app, which I didn't get time to cover. We'll be talking about the mobile app also, which is, I don't know if most of you guys have these applications downloaded, but if you go ahead and open up your cell phones or maybe iPads, whatever device you have, you can actually download both of these apps. They're free of charge, and you can use the same login that you use on the computer to access the web-based, version of KvCore onto those apps. Okay, so whether you have Google Play on, Android devices or Apple devices with iOS, just log on to the Google Play Store or the App Store. And I highly recommend, if not the Open House app, at least get the KvCore mobile app. Okay, they're both free, and we'll be covering those today. So if it feels like it's too much info, again, remember you can always go back through these, or you have a direct line to me via phone call, text, or email. Okay. And last but not least, we'll try and get into landing pages. I've already covered this, but I feel like I was moving a little bit too fast. So, and we have a bunch of new people also in the group, so I'll make sure to touch on this. If not, if you don't really get the full view of what landing pages are today, I'll make sure to make it the put it up to the spotlight next Tech Tuesday, because this is equally as important. You can have all the contacts in your database, you can have all of the smart campaigns, but if you have no way to bring leads into the system, then there's no purpose in building all these smart campaigns, because no one's coming in to actually get those going. So landing pages are a way where you can craft up single a single page that is a call to action for a specific thing. So it could be you marketing your services to first-time homebuyers. Could be you marketing your services to people who might not have good credits. You can be as creative as possible and target a specific niche of people, because the more targeted you are, the bigger the impact your marketing will have. Okay, so I'm going to say that one more time. The smaller your niche, the more specific you get, the bigger the impact your marketing campaigns will have. But if you try to cater to everyone, just say, hey, I'm a real estate agent, and if you want to buy or sell, sign up right here. It's not going to have as high of a conversion rate as you targeting, are you having difficulties purchasing a home because you think your credit is low? Well, you know what? I can help you. I've worked with people who have very low credit. We have multiple programs. That latter example I just said is much more appealing to a specific niche of people who are more likely to sign up through your landing pages, which will then filter through your system, which will then filter through all of the smart campaigns you have in place, and then turn those prospects into leads. Okay. So this is what we'll be talking about today, and then of course Q&A at the end. Okay, we'll try to touch on these as many of these as possible. We aim, at least I aim, to try to crunch these up in an hour, but sometimes we may go over. So the beauty about this is if you can't stay the whole hour, or if we go extra, you can always come back and watch these on YouTube. Okay, so we're gonna get started with the Open House app. Okay, so I'm actually going to share the screen of my phone, because I'm going to be doing both of these on my phone, the KvCore Open House app and the KvCore mobile app. Okay, give me 1 second. Also, feel free to interrupt me at any time, remember, but we're gonna get into this right now. All right. Some other devices. Can you guys see my screen? Can I get a yes in the chat, or anyone? I want to make
Yes.
sure you guys can see this.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. So for those of you guys who have iPhones and Apple devices, go ahead and go into your app store, and you can search for the app. Just type in KvCore. Okay, and once you do, you want to get the first two applications, maybe even the XP one. I'm not sure what this is about, but definitely get the two KvCore ones. So first, we're gonna get started with the open house app, okay? I'm already signed in, but the first screen you will see once you open up this app is it'll prompt you to sign into your uh, KvCore with your KvCore credentials. Once you pop that in, this is the screen you will see. So you're not missing anything. It'll just prompt this screen and you won't have any past open houses. So I've recently started using this for a couple open houses, and it does the job. It does the job. It makes my life much easier. So what you're gonna do if you're hosting an open house, and once you log in here, you're gonna see this interface. And like I said, you will not see any past open houses, of course. So what you're gonna do is you're going to type in the address of your the listing you're at for your open house. So I'm gonna put Stanbridge Avenue, and then it will automatically search that listing on the MLS. Okay, it'll find it for you and it'll have the MLS number based on the address, or you can just paste the MLS ID straight into here too, and it'll find it for you. So once you see the photo and it looks like your property, go ahead and press confirm. If it's not yours, click wrong property and then just make sure the address is typed in correctly. Okay, so I'm gonna press confirm. And then you'll get brought to this screen right here. So this screen is where you decide what type of information you want the people who are signing into your open house provide. You can have some be required, you can have some be optional, or you can decide to not show certain fields at all. So the name and the email address is required. Now, I don't know how many of you guys have hosted open houses. I know some of us are very new and didn't get the chance to, but when prospects walk through an open house, that initial moment of, hey, do you mind please signing in? It's not the most desirable experience for people walking in, but I'm thinking of creative ways to incite people to sign in, which I can't wait to show you guys. But for now, the traditional method is people walk in, you ask them, hey, do you mind signing in? And then if you have water or snacks, you can guide them to that, show them around the property, or let them do their thing. But an open house is not successful if you're not collecting the information of the people who are walking in, because those people who are walking in some capacity are thinking about real estate ownership. You're just not going to walk into an open house just because. Some people can, but you have a degree of interest when you walk in there. And as agents, we need to capitalize on that as much as possible, because anyone walking in there with real estate in their head, you want to make sure you are the agent that helps them out if they do decide to pull the trigger on your property. Or even if it's not your property, the beauty is you can follow up with them and find that property they are looking for and give them a 5-star service. You want to make sure you're the one that they can reach out to. But none of that can happen if they walk through the property, they grab all your drinks, they grab all your snacks, and they never sign in. That's not fair. It's not an equal exchange. So you want to make sure you find fun ways and intuitive ways to get people to sign in and help them out, because at the end of the day, you're just helping them. We're not here to just bother them. We're providing a service. So make sure to collect the name. Email is going to be mandatory regardless, and I like the way it's set up, because if you use a regular paper, have it on the table, most people, if they do sign in, will just put their name, no email, no phone number, no nothing, and that does not help you. So you, through the app, if you have an iPad sitting at the front, and make sure to obviously watch your stuff, but if you have an iPad, they will not be able to complete the sign-in unless they have at least an email and a name on there. Okay, so that already is an added benefit, so that when people try to be sneaky and just put their name, they won't be able to submit, and they'll have to put an email so you can reach out to them. Okay. Now, under this section, you have plenty of toggles. So under the phone number section, if you switch this on, this will also populate a phone number field. Give me a second here. I think I got a question. Okay, question from Cecilia. That was a minute ago. Let's see, you're using Canva for polls and presentation. Yeah, we actually talked about Canva a few times, and I think we're overdue for a Canva overview or training. So definitely that's in the works, Cecilia, and anyone else that might be interested in that. I think it's a very important tool. Let's see, fun fact, if guests sign in with 123, that's really good. That's a really good insight. So Melissa is saying if someone tries to sign into your open house and they try to put a number like 123 456, KvCore will know and not accept it. So they're a little bit forced to give you the right info. If not, at least have the mental capacity to think of something creative. So might as well just put your number, you know? So yeah, this is another added bonus of using this application. So if you, like I said, you have plenty of toggles here. You can switch on phone number. So that will add a field under the sign in, under the place they sign in at, which we'll see at the end of this. But if you don't want them to provide a phone number, you can switch that off. That makes it a little bit, that makes it less, how do you say? It's less stuff they have to input. And the less things you make, prospects do, the better your chances of collecting, data. If you got to go through a 5-step process to do something versus a 2-step process to do something, you'll most likely feel more comfortable just taking the 2 steps and getting what you need. But you kind of gauge it. You can also turn it on, but have it not be required. If you want to require an email and a phone number, you would switch on require there. Honestly, I would not require the phone number. I would leave it optional so that at least they don't feel like they're providing too much information, because people can feel like that and then they can be like, you know what, I don't want to sign in. It's okay. They can either leave or just, have that negative experience right from the get-go. So if they want, they can add it. If not, they won't. Some people, people who are genuinely interested in real estate, all the open houses I've hosted, they tend to provide that information. Okay, if they know they're looking for a home, they'll put their email and they'll put their phone number. I had that happen even last open house I did. But people who are just there looking, don't want to be bothered, they're less likely to, but still you need to do the best you can to get people to sign in. And yeah, so if you want to require that, you can switch that on or off. It's up to you. So just for the sake of this presentation, I'll keep it on. And then very important, there's a field that asks them if they're currently working with a realtor. Okay, so I recommend switching that on because people can sign in, but if they're already working with a realtor, you don't want to step on another realtor's toes. I'm sure you would not like someone to do that to you. So switch this field on and see if they already have an agent. If yes, just still you have their information. Maybe you can just send generic emails from time to time, maybe 6 months down the line, once they've probably forgotten about that realtor. Because there's an interesting statistic out there. I think it came from eProperty Watch. I think between the 70s to the 80% of people who use an agent to do a transaction, either buy or sell, they actually forget their agent's name right after. That's because most people don't keep in touch, and they don't have any systems in place to stay at the top of the mind of everyone they work with. And that's something that is easily fixed using KvCore and the things I'm showing you right now through the smart campaigns. So you don't want to be that guy. You want to be remembered. So yes, do switch that on and find out if they have an agent or not. If not, then you have green lights. Lastly, where did you hear about this open house? Yeah, I think it's somewhat important. I would switch that on. They don't have to type anything in. It just gives them a drop down where they can choose an option. This gives you some data as far as how people are finding out about your open houses, so that you can, maybe work on the areas that are not generating as much traffic, or maybe improve on the already existing ways people are finding your open house and just build upon that and make it even better. Okay, so this is the setup screen to your open house sign-in sheet, your digital sign-in sheet, if you will. If I click next, you get to choose the background image that shows behind your sign-in sheet. So this is an optional thing. I actually took the photos you see here. This is the property I was doing an open house at. It was beautifully staged. So if you guys need photos, call me. I'll get you some beautiful shots like these. But you get to choose the photos you want to show. So I'm just gonna keep this one. I really like that one. So let's select this. And I do that by just pressing choose image and then scroll through and choose the image you want to show. And I recommend switching everything down here because when they walk in, people are gonna have questions as far as how much is this property going for? What's the square footage? How many beds and bath? These are the most commonly asked questions when people walk into your open house. So if they can see that right off the bat on the sign-in sheet, that's you know, convenient. Still provide them with information. You want to connect with people, but doesn't hurt to also have it shown on the sign-in digital sign-in sheet. So I would turn all this on, but again, it's up to you. Okay. Once you figure all that out, you can press next. So this is arguably the most important part of this app. I love the hashtag features that KvCore offers. For those of you guys I've seen at the meeting today, we talked a little bit about what hashtags are, but it's basically a way to categorize all the leads in your system. And based on the hashtag you add here, so before I even say that, by default, anyone that signs in through your open house app will have a unique hashtag added to them. That's just that just happened off the bat. But if you want to add your own hashtag, let's say you can do, you know, you can create a hashtag called open house. You can also add that hashtag. So I just type that in, press add, and then now anyone that signs in at that open house, once they get added to my database, they will have a hashtag called open house attached to their contact. And the beautiful thing about that is you can set up smart campaigns on KvCore so that after this open house, everyone signs in and it syncs to your KvCore system. Anyone with the open house hashtag will get added to a smart campaign that you've already set up, you know, days before, weeks before, doesn't matter, but they'll automatically be reached out to by your system. And that's all hands off. All you had to do is just type in open house. Your smart campaign will do all the work. I have mine set up to reach out to them the day after. It'll say, hey, thank you for visiting my open house. I hope everything was okay. And then maybe on day 2, I can schedule a call. All this is automatic. And the less work you have to do up front, the more time you have to generate more leads. Because at the end of the day, this business is, you know, you should put your primary focus on generating leads. Let's see, I have a question. Can you specify bedrooms or price range for open house further categories? This will pull information, the information you have on the MLS. So there's no way, at least that I've seen, for you to edit how many beds and bath that show, at least on the sign-in sheet. Hopefully that answers your question, Raquel. But yeah, so you would basically just approach them if there's any other information they need to know. Awesome. So like I was saying, you can add hashtags here that will trigger smart campaigns and have the system automatically keep in touch with those people. Okay. And even if they don't reach out to you or they don't answer your calls, the beautiful thing is you can have another smart campaign. If that one goes all the way through with no replies, you can switch them to another smart campaign, which could be a newsletter. Okay. This is how I have mine set up. If they don't reply to my emails or my text messages or my calls after about 25 days, I think that's the last interaction in my open house smart campaign, they get switched to a newsletter campaign, which will keep in touch with them for up to a year. And that smart campaign, that newsletter smart campaign, I add on to it every single week or every single month. So they will never run out of content from me. And as soon as they're ready to make that purchase or sell their property, guess what? You are the agents they think of first. So I can't stress the importance of smart campaigns enough. Okay, so
When you say switch to new, I'm sorry, I'm
yeah.
sorry to interrupt. But when you say switch them to newsletter and they won't run out of content, is it that you have a newsletter that goes out, or have you pre-programmed anything?
Um, yeah, you sounded a little bit low, but I think I heard your question. When I say they're moving to another, to a newsletter, I have another smart campaign pre-built that has pre-written newsletter articles that they get switched to. So you can have your smart campaign after a certain amount of days, change or add a hashtag to them.
I
So
understood
let's
that.
say,
But the
yeah,
newsletter that you're talking about,
yeah.
are you creating newsletters periodically? And every time you create one, it goes to a certain set of identified audience? Or you have a set content like of 10 newsletters, and the system randomly picks one at a time and keeps sending them?
Oh, yeah. So no, the system doesn't randomly pick them. There's in a set order. Okay. So it can have like, I have mine set up as day 30. This specific newsletter gets sent out. Day 60, this specific one gets sent out. So it doesn't pick a random one. Okay.
Got it. So
Yeah.
you have like 10 or 12 pre-made newsletters,
Yes.
and they are scheduled, and then they go out, right?
Yes. Yeah,
Gotcha.
for sure. And the thing is, even though there's only 12 now, every single month, I can just think of a cool topic, a cool need to know for buyers, and I just add it on top. I can have it be at like day 120. And then 6 months down the line, let's say I'm running out of newsletters, I can always think of new topics, things that are happening right now. And obviously, I'm not creating content that's only pertaining to today. Let's say, oh, interest rates are like 5%. This is a great time to buy. I don't have anything like that in my newsletters. I only have timeless advice, like, good tips when buying a home, which will never change, hopefully.
Got
So
Yeah,
stuff like
that was
that.
my follow-up question. Thank you,
Yeah,
already answered that.
yeah. So yeah, I thought about that and I was like, yeah, I should probably not put any information that might change. So it's just good need to know, good, cool little tricks and, um, fun facts that people would want to see. And if it strikes a chord with someone and they didn't know about a specific program, then, they click a button and get in touch with me. So that's going on in the background. Did that
Makes sense.
hopefully answer your question?
Yes, it did. Thank you.
Awesome. For sure. All right. So once you add all the hashtags you want, you can add multiple, by the way. You can put, newsletter here. If you want them to have 2 hashtags, you could do that. So if you have another smart campaign that will trigger when there's newsletter, you could put that there too. So yeah, so we're just gonna put open house for now. Once you do that, that's pretty much it. You're gonna press launch at the bottom right, and then it'll ask you for a pin. Now, the reason for this pin is if someone tries to exit the sign-in sheet on your, iPad or whatever device you're using, it will prompt them to put a pin. So this is just for security so that someone doesn't exit and then no one's able to sign in. So I'm just gonna put a bunch of ones, confirm, and then we're gonna press launch. And there you go. This is what it will look like. I use my iPad. It has a much bigger screen and you get to see, the images and the text a little bit more. But yeah, as you can see, first name, last name, email, phone number. It'll ask them if they're working with an agent and how they heard about the open house.
Another question.
Yeah.
So you do have the information, right? The more about the house, and for people to see upfront, mainly FAQs, right? So what happens when you have a really good open house? Like there's more foot traffic that's coming in. So when a person is like you want them to put their information and move on so that your iPad is available to the next one, right? It's not like paper where you can give one sheet to the other, and then if you see
Yeah.
someone else waiting, you hand out one more. So how do
Yeah.
you
No,
handle that?
that's a good how do you say it, question. So the way I actually handle that is the optimal way to go about doing this is obviously sometimes you're going to have super packed open houses. That means it's very successful. And obviously you don't have a million iPads to, give around. I usually keep my iPad with me so that whenever people walk in and, they grab a, how do you call call it, a flyer with more info about the property. I still have some, physical pieces of paper on the table for them to sign in. Because if I run behind, I can always go back to the sign-in sheet, populate people's names on here, and then KvCore will do the rest of the work for me. But if it's a little slower, you can approach them individually, have a conversation with them, and let them know, hey, did you sign in, by the way? If not, grab their name, first name, last name, email, and whatnot, and then just press submit. So this is overall, all in all, it's a good way to just crunch all of your data sets, all of the names and emails into KvCore, even if they write it down on a piece of paper at the entrance on a sign-in sheet, which, yes, I think you should still have. At the end of the day, just go ahead and grab that sheet, fill all this information in, and KvCore will assign your smart campaigns, add them to your database, and do all that. Because if you don't have this app, what most of you guys are going to end up doing is going one by one into your KvCore or whatever other system you use and just typing out all the email addresses. But this is good because I'm terrible at certain handwritings. Some people can write a certain way, I just can't read. So this also gives you that added advantage for those, at least, that you get to sign in on here, to have something clear and concise and visible. Okay, so I have both.
Yeah, I'm all for tools, like manual work. So I'm totally vote for this.
Yeah, awesome. So yeah, there you have it. So this is your sign-in sheet right here. And when someone tries to exit, as you can see, it'll give them this prompt. And if they don't know the code, obviously they won't be able to mess up your sign-in sheet. But yeah, as people sign in through here, contacts won't automatically pop up on your KvCore. You have to finish the open house first, and then KvCore will start importing them, which consists of just pressing the exit and then put your code. Then we just put all ones, and then that's it. It'll create a new entry at the top, and it'll put a check mark when it's finished syncing. And it'll even show you the number of guests that you had. So I can click on any past open houses. As you can see, this one was not very successful, but I got most of them to actually sign in on a piece of paper, but they'd never put their email. But you can always go back to all your open houses and actually track how many people showed up, what information they provided, how they found out. And if it's the same property you're going to redo, you don't have to go through all this process again. You can just press relaunch, and then you're back to confirming all of the questions to display. Press next, confirm all of that, and then you can add new hashtags depending on what day it is. Maybe you're trying a different approach or a different campaign. And then once you have all that set, do your pin, and then there you go. You're back into the open house with all of the details. Okay, very, very simple and easy. So that right there is the open house app. It's very easy to use. Hopefully they add more customization and maybe more stuff, but as is, it's already working just fine for me, at least. Okay, so let's exit this, close this, and we're gonna stop sharing this screen.
Are you okay if I comment on the pros and cons on this one?
I'm so sorry, I don't know if it's my computer, but everyone, at least that has been talking, sounds very low. Let's see. I'm so sorry, can you say that one more time?
No, are you okay if because I've used this platform, and
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. It
Okay.
really is very helpful. It's
Yeah.
automatically put into KvCore. And the nice feature to it is that if the client or the person walking in doesn't like this particular home, KvCore already has an alert for them as soon as it's connected, right? As soon as they go in, they have the same features within the general area. It starts feeding them alerts of other homes, which is really nice because you don't have to do anything.
The less you have to do, remember, the more you can focus on generating even more leads and just amplify your business. Okay?
Right.
That's the benefit of using this, for sure. Thank you for that share.
Right. And I've gotten people who have responded that way, all the alerts that go out automatically,
Yeah,
even though
okay.
they have, even, I hate to say this, but I don't know how it works with the ones that have agents, if it
Yeah.
still sends them alerts, but I don't know if it distinguishes from that, the no alerts
That's a
versus
good
alerts.
question. Yeah, that is a good question. We're gonna find out together. I'll note that down and I will find out. But I
Mhm.
have not had an agent that a person walk through that had an agent that even wanted to sign in. They're already on a mission. I feel like their agent preconditions them. So
Yeah.
they're like, oh no, I have an agent already. Or maybe those people also signed in with a piece of paper. But you can
Right.
always go back because you can switch off that smart campaign when you
Mhm.
review all the leads you got. So there's also
Correct.
that extra
That's true.
extra.
Yeah, and we could do that.
Yeah.
The other thing I did notice when I've
Yeah.
used it, the clients, some of them, as they didn't want to put their phone number in. And I had it as a requirement. And so because they refused to, I went ahead and put my name so I could keep tabs as to who walked into
Yeah.
the open house. The setback to that is that within, I kid you not, within 3 days, I got a lot of um, spam calls by doing that. And I'm not sure how that, I don't know why that is.
By putting your own number.
Yeah, uh-huh. So I don't know if the clients are getting spammed or what, but I got spammed because I put my phone number to 3 different clients that refused to put their phone numbers.
Yeah.
And within 3 days, it nonstop just being spammed.
Oh, that's interesting. I've never put my own number on there, but yeah, that's very weird. I
And
know
it's not
for
my
sure.
direct number. It's
Yeah.
my KvCore number.
Oh, yeah. So you'd never want to put your own number. I know that your own number, but especially your KvCore number in any of the KvCore systems. And actually, someone asked me a question last like Tuesday. They wanted to know because I used the text to call feature. I had where is it at? There's a section right here. Instead of click the link in the chat, I had
Mhm,
text this code to my number. And come to
mhm,
find out, even other people's smart numbers cannot text your smart number because it confuses the system. So if we're
mm,
all agents, your personal number and your KvCore number, if you're set up with KvCore, you will not be able to use the text to call feature. It has to be through a number that's not part of KvCore systems at all. So it might be some confusion in the system. So I would definitely refrain from using your personal number, the one that it forwards to, or your smart number. It might have something to do with that, okay?
mm. That's a good
Yeah,
point. Okay.
for sure. But honestly, for those people who refuse to put their phone numbers, just have it as a not required, so that way you can, still collect the email and still have a way to reach out to them. So
Mhm.
that's why I switched that little part off, because it can also scare some people away. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, all right. Let's see, where are we in this presentation? Okay, I guess I have a poll right now. Let's see. This is fun. So after seeing this, and we'll have a quick question section after this, I wonder what you guys think. Go ahead and take a 5-second break and answer this poll right here. Curious to see how many of you guys actually want to attempt this. Hopefully you guys can see this poll on the screen. Awesome, looks like it's working.
While we are waiting, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So the number, the KvCore number, right? So
Yes,
it's a monthly payment if you want one dedicated to you, right?
that's correct.
So say you don't want to go for the dedicated number, the number that keeps changing, does that mean you have to keep changing the number? Like every time you log in, it changes? Or if you use one for one campaign, you can stick to it? How does that work?
Yeah, so yes, the number does change. I know it's not every time you log in. I think it's every 30 days. Don't quote me on that, but I will also write that down to find out the exact rule for that. Um, but the thing is, if the smart number changes, people who still call the number, even though it's changed, I believe KvCore actually cycles that number through all of the agents in your office. So if it's no longer attributed to you, somebody else who has that smart number will actually get that notification because you're still a lead within the system. Okay. So that's why if you're going to use a lot of marketing using your smart number, I highly encourage you get your own. I'm not for unnecessary monthly subscriptions or expenses, but leveraging your smart number, if you use it right, you can reap a lot of benefits out of it, especially if you want to, market on social media. You don't want to put your personal number out there. So the smart number is an extra filter that you can put in front of your personal number. And not only that, it will log, all the interactions from everyone calling you. So I think that's the reason why I opted in, because I think it's well worth the money you're paying for it. But to
I
answer your
agree.
question, yes, it does change. And I do know it cycles through all the agents within the office. So if you don't want other people getting your leads or just floating around, I would encourage you to get that if you're interested in using the smart number. Or if you're comfortable using a personal number, that's an option too. Okay.
Makes sense.
Okay.
The other question was
Yeah.
the feature that she just explained right now. Would you be able to explain that one more time? She said a person who does not like, who walked into your open house, does not like the house, but receives similar houses automatically.
Yeah. So anyone that signs up using your, smart, I mean, not, what am I saying? Anyone that signs up using the open house app, KvCore already knows where they, met you at, because they obviously signed in through the open house. Now that gives you the option. Let me end this poll real quick. Looks like 45% of you guys are going to try the iPad and a lot of you guys don't have an iPad. You can still use your phone, by the way, and paper all the way. I mean, still have that. And yeah, a few of you guys might need to rewatch this. Cool. So if we open up Perla, which is someone that actually I met at the open house I just did, if you can see right here, if you go under, where is it at, property alerts, if you go ahead and add an alert, you can set up if you look right here under summary, this is the property details of the property we met at. This is the open house we met at. So if I switch on this alert, it already knows what Perla kind of is looking for based on the fact that she went to my open house. So that's kind of, I hope that answers your question at least. KvCore will
Yeah.
automatically know, what they're in the market for generally, and then it will send out alerts if you activate it based on, that.
So when you activate this alert, what KvCore would do is it would go through just your listings or anything on MLS that
It'll go
matches
through,
that.
yeah, the MLS. Anything that matches this on the MLS, it'll send her alerts, and you can have 2 alerts per lead. So you can also set up a different alert. But still, I feel like this should not prevent you from getting in touch with the person, because chances are if she walked through and she didn't ask a lot of questions or was not particularly interested, it could be that she wanted a 2-bed 1-bath all along. So still do connect with those clients and get a proper search alert going for them. But this is just something extra to have just in case.
Gotcha. That's pretty neat. So I have one follow-up question. I'm blanking
Yeah.
out on it. If it comes to me, I'll come back to you.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah. Do let me know. Let me check the chat. Looks like we have questions. For sure, Carla, definitely. Misty, you have a good one, okay? She probably
Oh,
left already.
yes. I remember.
Yeah.
So say what you're saying is you would have a good idea because after the open house, you will be reaching out to everyone who walked in to check, how they like, if they're in the market. Is that what you're saying? That you'll be calling everyone?
Uh, what do you, I don't understand the question. Can you say it one more time?
So I'm saying, let's not, your suggestion was to let's not just switch it on and leave it at that. Make sure to reach out to them and understand that's exactly what they're looking for, and then set up something specific for them, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I would do, because you don't want to trust KvCore for everything, because they
Makes
might not be
sense.
sending the correct things. So still
So I
do.
have two questions on
Yeah.
that. One
Yeah.
is, how do you do that? Like, now you're talking to this customer, you realize,
Yeah.
oh, you know what? She doesn't want a 3-bed, 3-bath. She wants a 2-bed, 2-bath. What do you do?
Yeah, for sure. So we're actually right where you need to do that. So let me go back to the timeline. So when you open up a contact right here, could be from your open house or not your open house, everyone's going to have the property alert section right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and click add. It'll take you to this page. And here you can customize a whole alert. So let's say they're looking in the city of Long Beach. I would just type in Long Beach right here. It'll populate and I can click city of Long Beach. And then if they're looking for a single family residence, you can scroll here, click that. Price range, whatever ends up, happening during your conversation, you could populate all that here. 1.5, 6, 7 bedrooms, sky's the limit. And then once you set up everything down to the square feet, you don't have to fill in all these fields, by the way, but the more info you give, the more specific it will get. Don't try to be too specific when doing search alerts, because you might exclude something that the lead might want. But just the important things like bed, bath, and maybe what type of listing it is, and maybe the price range too. And then once you have all that on there, you can click set alert. Okay. If you set the alert, now any new things that populate on the market that meet those criterias will automatically be sent to that lead. Okay. So that's how you would make that happen.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
So another question is,
Yeah.
when Perla is looking through this, if she likes anything or if she has viewed anything,
Yeah.
do you have visibility to it?
Yes, you do, which is one of the other beauties of KvCore. So let's say Perla loved one of the listings. It's going to populate like this. So it's going to say Perla view the listing on your website, maybe on her phone or the laptop. And then you have access to whatever listing that was. It'll give you a little picture here. You can click here to email her. If you have a text, if you have her number, you can also call her from there. And yeah, everything on the dashboard is all the interactions that are happening while you're, hard at work on the field. And
That's beautiful. I wanted to take a look at that. So that really is good.
Exactly.
Another question, sorry.
No, all the questions you guys have, go for it.
So as a practice, after your open house, are you calling everyone who visited to understand if they're looking for a house, they're serious about a market or not, or just introducing yourself? Is that a practice?
I mean, I would, I want as many clients as possible. Anyone who leaves their email and phone number, I will reach out to them, because that tells me they're interested in some type of real estate, like the one they just visited at my open house, or maybe another one. So I have them automatically assigned to a smart campaign. I'm going to go to my smart campaigns right here, and you'll kind of see how I have it set up. So I'll put open house. I think that's how I have my smart campaign called. And I build a campaign for every individual property I do open houses for. Because some of my emails have the address to the property, so I don't want to reuse the same templates for every open house. But you can still do that. I just like to be more intentional and hands-on. So if they get added to my database, this hashtag section under my open house, I added this hashtag right here, OH open house, and then the address. That way, whenever I want to find people that I met through that open house, I can just type in this hashtag. Now, when they get this hashtag, this smart campaign will kick into gear, and it will immediately, the first action, it will change their status to lead. So from sphere to lead. And then day one, so 24 hours after they sign in and they get added to my system, it will send them an email. If I click edit right here, it'll say, hello, first name. It was nice to meet you at my open house. Da, da, da. What did you think? And I have control of all this information. You know, I like to be as specific as possible so people don't feel like you're just sending generic emails and you're not really, you know, you're not the one actually talking to them. So I add specific things about the open house, and I always leave like drinks and sweets. So all these emails, like it would make someone smile or at least know that you took care in writing a specific message for them. Okay, but little did they know, KvCore just swaps their name and it's just a higher conversion at the end of the day. But then on day 5, if they don't reply to this email, I have KvCore remind me to call them. Okay, and in day 7, there's another email I send out. Day 14, there's another email. Day 20, I try to call again. And then if by day 30, they don't do anything, they get moved to the newsletter smart campaign. And
Gotcha.
I do that by adding an action that adds a hashtag. And that specific hashtag triggers the newsletter campaign to get started for them. And then their status changes back to prospect because they haven't answered me in 30 days. So I changed their status from a lead to a prospect, you know, but they're still being marketed to using the newsletter. And one day, if they do talk to me or reply to any of those, they're back into the lead status. So I'm always marketing to everyone.
Got it.
So
That
yes,
makes
I
sense.
call everyone. Yes. Did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you so much.
Awesome, perfect. We have hit the hour mark. Most of you guys are here, so I'm going to show you guys the how do you call it? The KvCore mobile app. Okay, and I know we've already hit the hour mark. Feel free to if you need to go to bed already, that's no problem at all. Just let me. Actually, no, we've not hit the hour mark. It looks like my phone time and my computer time are different. That is so weird. I'm having technical difficulties here. It is 9:04, right? It's not 8:30.
Yeah,
Can
it's
someone tell
9:04.
me?
Yeah, it's 9:04.
It is.
It's okay, okay. I was like, what? My phone says it's 8:30. What? Okay. Um, okay, so let me show you guys the mobile app really quickly. And of course, if you can't join us in that, these are recorded, which is the beauty of these meetings. So I'm gonna share my screen and show you guys the phone app. And I guess we'll have to leave landing pages to another day. All right, so we'll share. Oh, by the way, let me finish these slides first. So yeah, you guys answered the poll already. This is just a quick thing I put together, the benefits of having a tablet versus, you know, paper. But like we said, obviously you should have both. If you do end up not using paper, you can tell leads that, hey guys, this is a paperless open house, you know, that's something you can say, and maybe they'll like that and they'll want to work with you because you save the environment. Eliminates ugly handwriting, you know, for people who have bad handwriting. It'll automatically import all your stuff, add a smart campaign. It's less work on your end and even more results. The cons is obviously it's an extra thing you have to carry around. So be mindful of where you place your electronics, okay? They're really expensive, especially if it's an Apple device. So be careful. Paper sign-in, I mean, it's easy setup. You just print it and set it. And but you do have to worry about bad handwriting. Some people could be genuinely interested, but if you can't read their email, it's for nothing. Yeah, less wow factor for sure. And try to save as many trees as you can, guys. We want to be eco-friendly realtors. Okay, and yep, that is that section. Any questions on that before I show you guys the mobile app really quickly? The more, the better. Looking good. Awesome, awesome. Let's now see about the mobile app. I'll be very brief. I just want to show you the key features. There is nothing you guys have not already seen on the actual KvCore website. It's just set up differently, and it's very, very good to use when you're on the go. So let's close this. Mhm. All right, share. Can you guys see this? Thumbs up, yeses?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. So this is what the KvCore mobile app looks like. Let me actually just open this up. I'm gonna search KvCore. It's the other one that I was showing you guys. So the first one, we just did the open house one, but now we're gonna do the KvCore one up top. Okay, it's just called KvCore, and that's what the icon looks like. This is available for both iPad and iPhone, so you can use your phone if you don't have an iPad. Okay, but you don't want people scrolling through your messages, so maybe get an iPad if you're interested. Okay, so we're gonna open this. So initially it's going to ask you to sign in to your KvCore, same login and everything, and then it'll take you right here. So there's nothing you're missing. So actually, let me see if I have a full setup for this, because I don't know if you guys are already using this or maybe not. No, I don't have a poll. Can you guys raise your hand if you're already using this? That way I can do maybe a more comprehensive. Yeah, you can use any tablet, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm an Apple guy, but hopefully Samsung has this, you know? I really hope so. Otherwise, that's more reasons to move to Apple, guys.
Yes, it does. Samsung has it.
Okay, there you go. It does. So yeah, you guys can maybe raise your hand to let me know if you're using the mobile app, and if not, I will know to maybe make something more in depth. So I'm not sure if this is something all of you guys are actually knowledgeable on. Okay, so it looks like not many, unless you guys don't know how to raise your hands. Cool. All right, but still, this is what it's gonna look like after you sign in. It has a little dashboard too. It's gonna have the calls you need to make today, the new leads you have, the activity stream, the inactive leads. Actually, no, I'm not in the dashboard. If I click on inbox at the bottom left right here where it says 23, so this is what you'll get greeted with. It'll show you how many emails you received, how many text messages you received. And through the text messages section, you can actually scroll through and reply to people. In the email section, obviously you get emails from people and you can reply from here. You can even send new emails. Very nice. I'm gonna breeze through this, and I think I'm just gonna end up doing a specific phone KvCore mobile app tutorial. But it's very nice. The main thing I want to show you guys is we're not always going to be at the office. You don't want to be sit down agents. You want to be mobile and sit down agents. You want to be able to work wherever you are. So for those of you guys who are into cold calling, I know Frank's not a big advocate of this. Let's say I'm a hybrid. I still feel like you should market to your sphere of influence. Very, very important, and do leverage KvCore to do that. But there's not always going to be an opportunity right away for your sphere of influence. And in those moments, you want to do a blend of both. You want to also cold call to get new leads while still marketing to your sphere of influence. So if you subscribe to any call, any dialers like Mojo Dialer, Redx, or any of those other applications, you can export the list of the data from there, eliminate an extra bill you have to pay every single month because those dialers are expensive. You can upload all of those contacts within KvCore, and the mobile app actually has an automatic dialer that you can use. And this is all free because as an EXP agent, you get all this for free. Okay, so you can do that. I can't make a tutorial on how to export data from all of those softwares. I've not used all of them, but they all have some type of export feature. If you use a cold calling software and you would like to export your contacts and then import them into KvCore, you have my email, phone number. We can chat about that and I can help you guys transfer that so you can start to nurture those leads in KvCore, subscribe them to email list, which a lot of dialers, I don't think even any of this will let you do that. Maybe so, but I'm not sure. But move them over to KvCore and be more effective and more creative with how you market your services. But my strategy when it comes to reaching out to, cold prospects that maybe don't want to talk to you. So what you want to do is sign them up to some type of campaign, maybe a newsletter, maybe you can send out a mass email that says, hey, I know you've tried to sell your home. If it's an expired list, you can say, hey, I know you've tried to sell your property, but you didn't have such a good experience. Here are all the reasons why you should try again with me. Obviously, I'm paraphrasing, but craft up some really nice, wording and then market your services and let them know you can help. And anyone that replies to you automatically turns from a cold lead to a warm lead, because like Frank says, it's a tap on the shoulder. If someone replies positively, then you already can get started calling those people. So you have less chances of getting called, nasty things, because that will happen. You have less chances of, getting to, well, at least you'll be using your time much more efficiently by focusing on the people who immediately are interested. Once you get that out of the way, you can still keep marketing to those other people that have not replied. And chances are all the people who are going to stop, reply, stop and unsubscribe, they probably didn't want to do anything in the first place. So that kind of, it eliminates a lot of time that you don't have to put in calling those people. And time is everything in this business. You want to be as efficient as possible. So that's how I handle reaching out to cold prospects. At the end of the day, if people still don't reply, just hop on the phone and do give them a call anyway. But it's just time management and doing things more efficiently instead of taking the long route, working harder for the same result. Okay, but enough talking. So on here, if we look at the dialer section, I'm gonna click on that. It's at the bottom in blue right now. You actually are able to dial hashtags. These hashtags can be created here on the phone, or you can create them on, KvCore. We already talked about hashtags thoroughly. Probably we'll talk about it some more. But let's say you have a hashtag attributed to all those contacts you do import from a third-party software who are expired leads. If you click on dial hashtag right here, you can actually, oh, perfect. So I used to use Mojo Dialer, so I already have a Mojo Dialer hashtag. So if I click on Mojo Dialer right here, it'll pull up all of the people within that specific hashtag. And if you look at the bottom right here, you can press dial now. And it has this really cool feature where it'll count down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then it'll initiate a call. It'll populate a little section. You just tap on here and then it'll actually call the client. Once you're done calling that client, you can, it'll give you a little message, a little pop-up box that'll say, hey, how did the call go? Did they answer? Do you want to leave some notes? And then you just skip or move on to the next client. So I'm going to press skip because I'm not actually calling. And then it'll go to the next person, Ismail. We're going to call Ismail. He's going to pick up or not pick up. I'm going to leave some notes and then skip over to the next person. So you can still be productive in the go. I do this when I'm at a coffee shop. I do this if I'm just, waiting somewhere. I'm still being productive by nurturing all my leads and getting in touch with other people. So that is a very, very powerful feature the phone app has. So I'm actually going to cancel this. It's going crazy right now because I'm not actually calling these people. But you can have this be immediate. You can eliminate the little countdown too. It doesn't have to happen. I just have it set up that way. But all that is manageable in the settings, okay? But yeah, we definitely need to talk about this a little bit more because I do feel like it's very important. But very quickly also, if you go to marketing autopilot, and I get there by pressing the 3 bars at the top left, you can schedule mass emails from here. So if you think of something nice to send out to a specific hashtag, maybe first-time home buyers or all your active leads, maybe something crazy just happened in the market. They raised interest rate to like, well, they lowered interest rates to like 0%. And you want to do a cool post saying, hey, guys, interest rates are now 0%. This is the perfect time to buy. You could click on schedule mass emails. You can click on schedule an email, and you can actually do that from here. And you can send it to, specific hashtags. If you click on send to, right here, I could click on contact with hashtags, and then if it will work, sometimes the app will not want to work with you, but it might be because I'm connected to my computer, so it's a little slow. But the gist of it is you can send emails from here. It's going crazy on its own right now. That's not me, by the way. But the point is you can schedule emails from here to specific hashtags, and that now it's deciding to work. So you could put hashtag, expireds or whatever you have in your system, and you can market to those people. Okay. I'm gonna cancel. I'm gonna go back, and birthday and anniversary, we'll go through that another time. It's just a way for KvCore to remember people's birthdays if you have that in the system, and it'll automatically send happy birthday emails, which is a nice touch, builds relationship. Lead engine, you can create a call capture using your smart number for those of you guys who have your own smart number. You can still do this if you don't have a paid for a smart number, but keep in mind your number will change. So I wouldn't mess with that if you want to use your personal number. It's just a way to create text codes. So say, for example, if you want people to text a certain message to you and receive pre-written information, maybe an open house you have, people are walking by and you have a sign that says text Long Beach at my number. Anyone who texts Long Beach at whatever number your smart number is will get a pre-written text back to their phone with all of the details. Now that I think about it, you can even have a little poster in your open house that says text this to this number to receive more info. And that's a really cool way to grab people's phone numbers. Okay, so that is a way you can use that. I'm actually going to use that, which is pretty cool. So that's the call to text capture. You can build CMAs right from your phone. If you're on a phone with a client and they want a quick little CMA on their property, obviously do set the expectation that this is something, just a rough draft, but you can do this while you're on the go and actually get back to that client and build up an actual CMA for them. But you can put their name on here, put the address of the property you want to create the CMA for. So we'll do my Stanbridge open house. And then if there's an apartment number, you could do that too. We'll just do John Kane, just a random name. And then just like that, press save, and it'll build a CMA based off of that address immediately. And you see, you can press email CMA, and you just put the lead name in there, write up a nice message, and then press send. Just like that, you just created a CMA in 5 seconds. So the app is very powerful. It's a really nice tool to have on the go with you. And there's plenty of little quirks and features that you can use. You can automatically open the open house app through here as well, which is pretty nice. Yeah, so that was very quick. It was a lot of info, but like I said, we'll go through this together more in depth if you guys are interested in that application, so that you can also add that to your put that under your belt. Okay, so that was the mobile app for you, just a brief overview. So yeah, just like I said, you can be productive on the go, send texts and emails, check your dashboard, and I have this nice photo right here too of this guy who's probably doing that right now. Cool. Do we have any questions on that? I know it was very quick, but anyone has a question? Looking good. Let me see the chat real quick. I might have something in there. Oh, thank you. Yes, great information. Okay. Landing pages, I'm very excited to share with you guys, but we don't have time anymore today. So we'll move that to the next Tech Tuesday, but it's going to be something very, very important for you guys to know, because this is one of the key things you will use to actually generate leads and convert them into leads, from prospects to leads. So we'll learn how to do landing pages. I've already made a video on doing landing pages, so I will put that in the chat for those of you guys who want to watch that before
Let's be
next
honest here.
Tuesday.
A recession is
Oh, this is not the right channel. Let's go to this one. And you
let's
guys
be
are
honest here.
loving the
A recession
YouTube channel, by the way, so I appreciate your feedback on that. I'll try to post more variety moving forward. Maybe some podcasts, some interview, some cool stuff you guys can watch instead of just these Tech Tuesdays. But if we go to videos, somewhere here, I believe we did landing pages right here, this one. So I'm gonna copy this, put it in the chat, so you guys can watch this on your own time if you wish. Everyone. There it is, it's in the chat. So this is what we'll be talking about next time. It's gonna be a very, very important topic, and hopefully most of you guys can make it, okay? So that's landing pages. I don't think I have any other polls for today. Let's see. Oh, smart campaigns are also very important, but I do plan on doing a lot of social media trainings too, because it's also one of the main pillars you will use to generate business. I think since 2020, 97, no, not 97, I think it was 92 or 93, something like that, that the NAR posted. 97% of people found their new home through online platforms. And if you're that 3% who's not marketing yourself online, well, you're losing big time. So you want to make sure you are taking advantage of that. I do a lot of social media things. I do a lot of videography and photography. So you can ask me for my experience and my opinion on certain things. I've failed a lot and I've learned a lot. So do email me if you have any questions pertaining to that. But if you answer the questions in this poll, that'll let me know what kind of social media you guys have, what you want to learn about. It's just about 4 questions. So we're gonna end it on that. So go ahead and click whichever one you guys use and what you want to be using. And we'll see what we have here. Give it a few seconds. Do we have any questions while people are answering this?
I selected 2 of them. It doesn't let me submit.
I'm so sorry.
I selected 2 of the whole list, but it doesn't let me submit. The submit button is grayed out.
Oh, snap. It's working for some people, so I think you might have to. Well, which ones are yours? I'll try to remember.
Mine are, I always had a LinkedIn account, but that's not related to real estate. And I just opened a Facebook page. I've been off of social media for over a decade now.
Oh, that's right, Sumati. I think we had the conversation. So yeah, we
Yeah.
definitely need to have a part 2 of that, because social media is very important. And if I show you guys anything, I want it to be at least that, because we have agents who are terrible at following up, but generating massive, massive leads because they use social media. You can be the most amazing agent in the world. If you don't have any leads coming in, it's not going to do anything for you. So you want to be both an amazing agent who knows how to follow up using campaigns and generates leads through social media. And of course, other means, but social media is where the party's at nowadays. So
I agree. I created a page, but I don't know how to get people to start looking at it. I don't know what to put in there. So it'll be great.
yeah, that's where landing pages are going to come in. So stay tuned for next Tech Tuesday. I'll show you guys great ways to market on Facebook, social media, and all that stuff. Okay. Awesome. So I'm going to end this poll. I think that was enough time. So it looks like most of you guys use Instagram and Facebook. It's a 50-50. TikTok is very close after those 2. I think TikTok Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube are the main places everyone should be at in some capacity, but at least start somewhere, start on Facebook, master Facebook, move to Instagram, master Instagram, maybe move to TikTok. I don't recommend you just jump into all these because it does take a little bit of time to create, good posts and valuable posts. So don't try to spread yourself too thin either. Maybe we'll get started with Instagram and Facebook because those two are actually linked. Whatever you post on Instagram, you can have it mirrored on Facebook. And then TikTok is very close too because you want to post a lot of short form content. That's what's really gaining a lot of traction now. So anything you create, you can just post on all of these social media platforms at once. Knock a lot of birds with one stone. Yeah, and it looks like most of you guys want to learn about Instagram, and a lot of you guys also YouTube. So it's pretty evenly distributed. Not many Snapchat fans. I don't use Snapchat either. I don't use LinkedIn too much, but do focus on the big ones. Let's see. A lot of you guys do use social media to market your business in some capacity, which is interesting. And yeah, not surprising. A lot of you guys are not comfortable doing photos. I mean, a video. So it's something you do have to, I think, get into and break that, comfort zone, because everything is video nowadays. If you're not moving and if you're not talking, if you have something static, you have less chances to capture attention than if you're doing a video. But we can do a lot of cool stuff with that now that we have an office to go to and meet up. So I can show you guys or maybe even help you guys do some social media posts. Okay. But I'm talking a lot. We're already 30 minutes past. Is there any last shares, any last questions before we wrap it up tonight?
Yes,
All
what's going on
questions
tomorrow night, Coach?
I'm so sorry, Frank. Say it one more time.
Yes, what's going on tomorrow night, Coach?
Tomorrow night? You tell me, Frank. Am I having
Well,
a brain meltdown moment?
No. Now tomorrow is comp Wednesday with
Oh
Coach
yeah,
May.
it's comps, guys. Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah. No worry. And also, if anybody in the group is interested in coming down to shadow an open house, just reach out to myself or Coach Kane for this weekend. We've got a great subject property in the city of Long Beach and some cool stuff going on there.
Yes.
That's it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Frank. Thank you all for listening to me for an hour and a half. I will edit this, post it on YouTube, and any of you guys that signed up using the link or the QR code will receive that notification via email. And yeah, that's where we are. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you maybe tomorrow or next Tech Tuesday. Peace.